right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our virtual orientation tonight. Welcome to Spring Mills. My name is Randy Muffley, and I have the pleasure of being the principal here at Spring Mills. We want to welcome all of you tonight. Our orientation is obviously very different this year due to unprecedented times that we're all experiencing, but we very much wish we could be in person with you. So since we're not able to do that, we thought the next best thing is to do this virtual, so you'd at least have a chance to get to know all of us a little bit. So our goal tonight is very simple. Share a little bit about ourselves tonight so that you have a face with a name. Point out some important resources for you and your family. And we're going to have a virtual question and answer towards the end. You're more than likely going to have some questions during that Q&A that I may not be able to answer tonight, but we'll do our best as we work through this together. So I'm going to ask for a little forgiveness now. This is the first time we've all done this. If we have any hiccups along the way, I apologize in advance. We think this will go pretty smooth for you and we'll be able to answer all of your questions. But just if we run into a hiccup, I apologize for that. And so I want to assure you, first off, that in Huron Valley, we are working on a plan for the fall. We are not sure at this point, obviously, what school is going to look like. At the state level, the governor has a committee that's working together to put together some different plans. And I assure you here in Huron Valley, we've been having those conversations. So whether in August we come back and we're in a seated situation, or whether we begin a virtual situation or a combination of both, we will have a plan for your child in terms of educating them. I promise you that. And so what's important too tonight is that if you are not enrolled in Huron Valley schools, we want to make sure that we walk you through that process tonight too, so that we have you enrolled. And we'll work through those plans as we get closer. We'll be communicating that to our family. So that may be a question that you have that I don't quite have that laid out for you tonight, but I promise you we're working hard as a team to get that hashed out as we get closer to that time. So what I wanted to do is, before I give you some introductions, I wanted to share a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Randy Muffley. I have had the pleasure of being here at Spring Mills for the past 15 years. I have been an educator in Huron Valley for 25 years, and it has been absolutely wonderful. So if you're new to Huron Valley, I just want to tell you what a great school district this is and what a great school this is. It really is an amazing place, and we really take great pride. I think one of the things that's special and unique about our school is it really does feel like a family here. And we want that feeling as you walk in through those doors. And so that's something that I believe is very special, and you feel that right away. That's a comment that we get all the time from our families, is that family feeling here at Spring Mills. It's a great school. And so I'm excited to have you and your family, if you're first time joining us. Something else that is unique about us is we do something called the Positivity Project. We adopted that about 3 or 4 years ago. And to be honest with you, it's one of the best character building programs I have ever participated in. It really is under the premise that other people matter. And we teach skills and different character traits. And they're just little mini lessons through the course of the day, about 10 minutes. But they have had a huge impact, I have seen, and our teachers have seen, on the students here at Spring Mills. And so we're excited about that. So if you'd like to look up more information, you could simply Google the Positivity Project. And it's something that's gaining momentum across the United States, and something that we're proud that we were on the ground floor of, and we've been doing for the past 3 or 4 years. We have an amazing kindergarten team here. I appreciate all of our teachers. I've had the pleasure of working with so many different educators at different levels, but I have to be honest with you, the kindergarten teachers have a special place in my heart. What I see them do on a daily basis is just remarkable. Taking kids and teaching them school, and what happens towards the end of the year is amazing to watch them blossom into just great students, and coming in and just learning things like standing in line and raising your hand, and doing that with with those boys and girls, and watching the patience and the love and the skill and the artistry that it takes to do that is really amazing. So I'm excited to introduce you to our teachers tonight. So I'm going to begin with our junior kindergarten teacher. That's something that we have here at Spring Mills, our junior kindergarten program. And this is Mrs. LaFontaine. And so Mrs. LaFontaine is going to say a few words about herself.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Mr. Muffley. I'm Sarah LaFontaine, and I have the pleasure of being the junior kindergarten teacher here at Spring Mills. I have a lot of years in kindergarten, and now recently junior kindergarten. So this is an age that I love to teach. Obviously, this meeting is a little bit different. We usually look forward to having you guys come down to our classrooms and get to meet you and answer your questions a little more personally. But just know that if you go to the Spring Mills website and you have any questions, you can find our emails there, and I'm happy to answer those at any time. So with that, I will let you meet Ms. Johnson.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Johnson. I teach kindergarten. This is my second year at Spring Mills teaching kindergarten, my third year teaching. I really love working at Spring Mills and working with our kindergarten students. It's been the best job in the world. Outside of school, I am an avid Disney fan, so I go almost every year, and my mom recently moved down there a couple of years ago, so now I get to go even more. And some other news about me is I recently got engaged. So in a few years, I will not be Miss Johnson anymore. I will be Mrs. Boyd. And I don't remember who's next.
That's all right. Mrs. Johnson, I will take that. We're going to introduce our next teacher, Mrs. Kelly Dodds. Mrs. Dodds.
Trying to work my technology. Good evening, future Spring Mills kindergarten families. My name is Kelly Dodds. I live in Novi with my husband of 29 years, Rob. My husband and I also have our son, Ryan, who is 22 years old and a recent graduate from Michigan State University with a Bachelor's of Science in Physiology. He's back living with us finally again. Ryan will be working for a neurosurgeon's office beginning as soon as he's given the all clear from Governor Gretchen Whitmer. He will be collecting data, assisting these physicians and their group with current research projects and studies. Our daughter, Rachel, who is 24 years old, graduated from Michigan State University with a Bachelor's of Art degree in elementary education. She is currently finishing up her first year of teaching kindergarten, and she loved every minute of it. Recently, Rachel also got engaged to her college sweetheart and is planning a July 2022 wedding. I myself graduated from Michigan State University with a Bachelor's of Art degree in elementary education. I earned my Master's of Education in Early Childhood Education from Oakland University. I've been teaching for over 20 years. 14 of those years have been teaching kindergarten right here at Spring Mills Elementary, where my heart really is. So I have the best job in the world. And I look forward to meeting you in person very soon.
Thanks.
Introducing Lisa Sharp.
Go ahead, Mrs. Sharp.
Hi, I'm Lisa Sharp. This is my first year teaching at Spring Mills in the Huron Valley District. I spent the last 13 years teaching in Detroit, and I have taught everything from kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. I originally moved here from Kansas City, Missouri, where I went to Central Missouri State University. My husband grew up in Milford and graduated from Milford High School, so that brought me here. I received my master's degree from the University of Michigan, sorry, Mrs. Dodds, in reading. So before I transferred to Huron Valley, I was actually a reading specialist. So my heart is fully invested in early literacy, and that is my passion. So kindergarten is definitely the starter, and that's where I love being.
Thanks, Mrs. Sharp. And Mrs. Sharp was pretty excited this year with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So
that's right. Yes. Yeah. I'm a huge sports fan. If you can't tell, my basement is covered in sports memorabilia, mostly Detroit because that's where my husband is from. But I was able to get a few Kansas City Royals and Chiefs things in here. So
thanks, Mrs. Sharp. Really, the person that runs the building, people think is the principal. I'm going to tell you that that is not the case. Your office coordinator is the person who runs an elementary school, and actually all of the schools, because they do everything. They're a nurse, and they take care of your children when they come into the office and all the various needs that happen. They'll take good care of you. And so I think we have an amazing office coordinator that I have had the pleasure of working with for several years now. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Arndt for a moment and let her introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Kristen Arndt. I am the office coordinator here. Thank you, Mr. Muffley. And I'm here to help answer questions, enrollment questions, or anything that you have about the start of the year or what's needed for your child. I am the mother of 3, and this is my 8th year at Spring Mills. And I'm happy to be here.
Thanks, Mrs. Arndt.
Thank you.
We have a moderator tonight who's going to help in just a minute with any questions that you may have. And this is one of my favorite people in Huron Valley. She happens to be a parent here, and she works in our district. She came back home this year. So I'm going to let her introduce herself for a minute, just so you know who's asking those questions. Mrs. Kidd.
Well, now that you stole my thunder, Mr. Muffley, that was my intro. Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here tonight. My name is Jennifer Kidd. I'm the Director of Early Childhood Education for Huron Valley Schools. Mr. Muffley is right. I worked out of district for a very long time. I grew up here. We have kids in the district. We have 2 kids who actually attend Spring Mills and love it. So to be back home and to be working with our Huron Valley families is just such a treat. So my job tonight is to monitor the chat. Any questions that pop up, we'll facilitate a Q&A, and then we'll go from there. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Mrs. Kidd. So I just want to reference one more time. You'll be able to, if you've not gone to our Huron Valley website, hvs.org, there is a banner right on the front page, and there is a video that we want all of our families to watch. That would be traditionally what we would do when we're in person, and all of the information that we would share with you. But given this format, we've placed all of that online. So that's something that all of our elementaries here in Huron Valley, all of the parents going into kindergarten will be asked to watch if you've not had a chance to do that yet. And there's all kinds of other important information about enrollment that you can find right on that resource at hvs.org. So hopefully you've already done that, but in the event you have not, I want to encourage you to do that. And before we do a Q&A, I want to just end my portion of it, and then I'm happy to answer some questions. But I want to just tell you, again, this is a great school. You just had a very small taste of the wonderful people that will take good care of your children here at Spring Mills. I promise you that. They do a wonderful job. They are passionate. I have the opportunity to see what's taking place in those classrooms every single day, and it really is amazing what is happening. And so it's important to have that partnership with your child's teacher and work closely with them. There's lots of opportunities for you to be involved in the school. We're proud of several different programs that we have here. We have a very active PTA. Our PTA president was not able to join us tonight, but we have a very active PTA who provide all kinds of different activities for our families. Generally, there's at least once a month, there's a family event that takes place, again, around that theme of family that you can participate in. Our classroom teachers often have volunteers working with students and helping students and helping the teacher within the classroom. We have a program that is called Watchdogs, Dads of Great Students. It's an opportunity for our dads to give a half day or a full day and be engaged in our school, not only in your child's classroom, but in other classrooms too. And it really is an awesome program with 100% positive feedback the 4 years that we've had it in our building. And so those are just some of the opportunities, and there are more that we'll share with you in terms of being involved. But it's important for you to partner with your child's teacher, develop that relationship, and work together. And so I want to encourage you to do that as you begin your child's path. And so the other thing I wanted to say to you is reading. That is my passion. It is so crucial to have some sort of a plan at home, starting now, if you're not doing that, every single day, at least 15 minutes of reading with your child. The research supporting that is through the roof. It will make a huge impact in your child's life if you have a plan for reading and developing that love for reading. But that starts with you modeling that. So I want to encourage you, if you don't have a plan in place, that you start a plan really tonight. And when we're done, take a few minutes and read with your child. But you can look up the research on that. And we all want, as parents, I have 2 children who are both in college. We all want to give that advantage to our kids. And that is a very simple, free way for you to do that as parents. And so I want to encourage you to set up a plan 15 minutes a night. And that will just build and their vocabulary and the words that they're exposed to by 6th grade is so much more than a child who's not been exposed to that 15 minutes a night. So if you hear nothing else tonight, I want to encourage you to do that. So Mrs. Kidd, if there's any questions, we're going to take a moment to do that. And if not, then we're going to close out this evening and let you get outside and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Mr. Muffley and team, at this time, we do not have any questions on the chat.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciate you being here. And you can email us if you have any questions. You can email me at Randy, RANDY, .Muffley, MUFFLEY at hvs.org. You can find that on our school website. That's embedded right in our hvs.org website. And again, I encourage you to go to our website to watch that video and to find more information. And I want to encourage you, if you're not enrolled, to do that as soon as possible. That's really important. And then we'll be able to communicate with you what our learning plan is in the fall. So Mrs. Kidd, I'm assuming there's no other questions. Thank you, kindergarten teachers and Mrs. Arndt, for being here tonight. And have a great evening, everybody.